Got one. Got one.
9 o'clock on Wednesday, November 9th, 2022. This is the Iroquois County Board. Scheduled
Bowman, Bowers,
Yes.
Kokenauer, Crow,
Present.
Curtis, Ducat.
Here.
Hughes. Johnson, Lynch, McGinnis, Taggart, Awful. Here. Sure.
Yep.
Whitlow.
Here.
Young,
Yes.
Zumwalt.
Present. Okay. This is awful.
Good morning. Today we have Pastor Darla Holden from the United Methodist Church of Waukegan, Milford, and Woodland that's going to start us in prayer.
Let us pray. For gracious and loving and all-knowing God, who sees and knows each one of our hearts and minds, be with us today as this group of county leaders and servants who are here to do the work of the people of this county. God, let those who need to speak with words of kindness and the words that need to be heard. Let those ears hear what needs to be heard. Hey God, let them make the decisions that does the best for everyone involved. For we ask that everything that we do and say and do to the glory of God and all that we say and do within the people and citizens of this county. So we thank you for this time. We thank you for this day. Be with us today. And as meeting will close later, go with them with the shield of protection and give them the direction in mind and body in which you want them to go. And it is in your holy name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, everyone has a copy of the agenda in front of them. We have a motion to approve that. Mr. Hughes, and we have a second, Mr. Duque. Are there any questions or comments regarding the agenda? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Everybody's been sent a copy of the minutes from the October 11th meeting. We have a motion to approve that. Mr. Whitlow, seconded by Mr. Bowers. Are there any questions or comments regarding on those minutes? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Next is the payroll. Mr. Young, is there a second? Mr. Hall, are there any questions or comments regarding the payroll? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll, please.
Bard.
Yes.
Behrens.
Yes.
Botcher.
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
Crow,
Yes.
Ducat,
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Awful. Yes. Sure.
Yes.
Whitlow,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Zumwalt,
Yes.
and Alt.
Yes. Okay, public comments. Are there any public comments this morning? Seeing none, we'll go to chairman comments. Today, I would like for us to recognize the service of those county board members whose terms will be ending when the next board organizational meeting occurs on December 5th. Laverne Botcher was appointed in November of 2021. Thomas Lynch was elected in November of 2020. Roger Bard was elected in November of 2018. Joe Young was elected in November of 2018. Kevin Bowman was elected in November 16 and 2020. Kevin Kokenauer was elected in November of 2016 and 2020. Sherry Johnson was elected in November 2016 and 2020. And last but not least is Ernie Curtis. Ernie was elected in November of 2008, 2012, 2016, and 2020 for a total of 14 consecutive years serving on this board. Our sincerest thanks to all and best wishes for your life ahead. I'd like to suggest that we all give them a round of applause. That's it for the chairman comments. We'll go on to outside organization reports. Angel.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the Iroquois County Board, and guests. I'm Angel Crawford, Executive Director with the Iroquois Economic Development Association. The Illinois Housing Development Authority, IHDA, reopened their Mortgage Assistance Program on Tuesday, November 1st. This program is designed to assist homeowners financially impacted by the pandemic. The IHDA made this program, the program is called Illinois Homeowner Assistance Fund, or ILHAF. It provides up to $30,000 in mortgage assistance to eligible homeowners. It's paid directly to the servicer, taxing body, or another approved identity, while homeowners work to regain their financial footing. Whether homeowners have a mortgage, a reverse mortgage, or are mortgage-free, the program can fund past due housing payments and up to 3 months of prospective mortgage payments. The program is free and funds do not need to be repaid. Applications will be accepted until 11:59 p.m. on Tuesday, January 31st, 2023. The program and application updates can be found at illinoishousinghelp.org. And if you have any questions about this program, you can reach out to Prairie States Legal Services. They are assisting residents in Iroquois County, and their number is 888-966-7757. We have some good news to share. Samantha Forbes was just hired as the College and Career Pathway Coordinator for the 370 Iroquois Area Regional Delivery System, or IARDS. She will be working with Jeff Bryan, Director of Education for Employment, and the superintendents from Watseka, Milford, Iroquois West, Cissna Park, Crescent City, and Donovan. Samantha has grown up in Iroquois County and formerly worked in the Iroquois County Treasurer's Office. I look forward to working with Samantha, Jeff, and the IARDS board as we strive towards creating a stronger workforce and helping young adults find professional careers right here in Iroquois County. Did you know that grant money is available to train your employees? I learned about 2 programs that can help your business do just that. The first program is the East Central Illinois WorkNet's Incumbent Worker Training Program, or IWT program. This program is available for employers in Iroquois County, Champaign, Douglas, Ford, and Piatt counties. The IWT program may be just what you need to help train your existing employees, increase productivity, and boost your company's competitiveness. The IWT provides hands-on training, payment to offset training costs, the opportunity to train employees your own way, and an investment in your business. Eligible industry employers in healthcare, manufacturing, business service, including IT, accounting, office administration, etc., construction, transportation, distribution, and logistics, ag tech, and green jobs training will also be allowed across all industries. For more information on this program, please contact Cassandra Dunham. She's the Employer Service Representative at 217-531-8276. The second program is the Illinois Manufacturers Association and Employer Training Investment Program, ETIP. Job Training Grant. This is through the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. This grant can cover up to 50% of the costs for eligible job training conducted between July 1st of this year to next year, June 30th, 2023. Participating manufacturers must have a physical location in the state of Illinois, and the covered training must be for full-time Illinois-based employees. Generally, training on hard skills in group settings by either internal or external trainers is eligible for reimbursement. The ETIP page on IMA's website, you can go there. The website gets updated as they continue through the application process and then on to the reimbursement phase. And for more information on this program, you can call 800-875-4462 and leave a message for Randy Prince, who is the IMA Senior Business Development Manager. In closing, we want to let families in Iroquois County know about the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. They have a program that is, they have a child care resource service center. This center helps parents with child care referrals, information on evaluating quality child care, resources for parenting issues, and the big one is assistance in paying for child care. And this is also for eligible, income eligible families. It also helps, the center can help daycare providers with entry into the referral database, which provides regular access to information about trainings or on best practices and funding opportunities. Also, it can help daycare providers with support for new and established programs. For additional questions on any of these topics, you can call our office at 815-432-0072. Are there any questions? Wonderful. Well, thank you so much and have a good night.
Are there any other outside organization reports? Seeing none, we'll move on to the committee reports. First of which is policy and procedure. Members of the county board, your committee to whom would refer policy and procedure would beg leave to submit the following report on the matters before them. Your committee met at the Administrative Center on October 27, 2022 at 9 a.m. Members present were Scher, Behrens, Alt, Bard, and Awful. Michael McTaggart was absent. Also present, Finance Manager Joe Johnson and County Clerk Brian Silver. The meeting was called to order. It was moved by Behrens and seconded by Bard to approve the agenda. That motion carried by a voice vote. There were no public comments. The committee chairs gave their monthly reports. Management Chairman Behrens reported the Management Committee will open and take action on tiling project bids for the county farm. County Board Chairman Scher will provide the committee with an update on the purchase of a building for the board and flood-proofing the new animal control facility. The Judicial Committee will hear their standard reports. Chairman Awful reported the Health Committee will hear their standard reports from ICPHD and Animal Control. Tax Planning and Zoning Chairman Bard reported the department heads will give their reports, and the committee has a rezoning request to take action on. Highway Chairman Alt reported the Highway Committee will take action on the county engineer's salary for the upcoming year. The committee will also hear their regular monthly reports. County Clerk Brian Silver provided the committee with the county board meeting schedule for fiscal year 2023 and the county holiday schedule for fiscal year 2023. Scher explained these are items that are approved each year. Scher also said the schedules don't have to be approved this month. They can wait until December when the new board members are able to vote. It was moved by Behrens and seconded by Bard to approve the county board meeting schedule and county holiday schedule for fiscal year 2023. A roll call vote was taken. That motion carried. Finance Manager Joe Johnson gave an update on the sexual harassment training. The current completion rate is at 72%. Johnson will email the link to those that need to complete the training and can also host another training in the boardroom if necessary. Continued discussion began on the personnel policy manual. The committee reviewed the policy along with the recommended changes from ICRMT as follows. On policy 1011, conflict of interest, page 22, ICRMT included a whistleblower policy that tracks the requirements of Illinois law. ICRMT recommends the county incorporate the policy into the personnel policy manual. Approval of this policy was tabled to allow the committee to review the whistleblower policy provided by ICRMT and to allow State's Attorney Jim Devine to review the policy and receive his opinion. Policy 1012, continuation of benefits, go over page 24. No changes were recommended by ICRMT. Policy 1013, emergency preparedness, page 25. ICRMT recommended rewording section 2 as follows. Adverse weather conditions, power failure, equipment failure, or other conditions may necessitate that Iroquois County close county offices during all or portion of normal business hours. When questions arise due to such circumstances, the county board chairman shall be contacted and shall determine whether offices shall be closed and whether employees, if they are at work, are permitted to leave work prior to the end of their normal shift. The committee chose to remove the next 3 paragraphs of section 2 and replace it with, if facilities are closed or closed early, it is the employee's decision to use earned time. The first sentence on page 26, if the county facility remains open and employees do not come to work, they may use a personal or vacation day instead of losing pay with their supervisor's approval. That was removed. Section 4B, remove the wording will perform and replace it with as periodically. Policy 1014, employee discipline, page 28, corrective action. ICRMT recommends paid administrative leave while an employee is on suspension. The committee tabled this matter until a discussion can be held with State's Attorney Jim Devine. Section 4, recommended changes from ICRMT were approved by the committee. Policy 1015, employment classification, page 33. ICRMT recommends adding the wording, who meets the minimum salary requirements and job duty criteria set forth in the Fair Labor Standards Act for exempt employees, to section 2. ICRMT also noted the statement under section 3 that reads, it is the responsibility of the department head supervisor to provide a consistent scheduling pattern and to provide employees continuity in types of employment is unclear. The committee agreed to remove the entire statement. Section 3C was changed to read, it is the responsibility of the finance department to maintain proper records of status changes and to keep an accurate record of vacation, sick and holiday benefits. Policy 1016, employment separation, page 35, section 2, paragraph 4. The first sentence was removed. Policy 1017, equal employment opportunity, page 39. ICRMT provided a sample policy against discrimination, harassment, and sexual misconduct, which includes EEO provisions. ICRMT recommends the county considers incorporating the policy into the handbook. The policy was tabled until the committee can review the sample policy provided. Chair discussed the next policy and procedure committee meeting, which is scheduled for December 1. New board members will be sworn in on December 5. They're asked the committee for their opinion on when to hold the next policy and procedure meeting. He said the meeting can remain on the normally scheduled date or can be scheduled after the new board members have been sworn in. Sure also added he believes holding the meeting December 1 with the current committee members is important in an effort to continue on with the revisions of the personnel policy manual. It was moved by Alpha and seconded by Behrens to schedule the next policy and procedure committee meeting on December 1, 2022 at 9 a.m. A motion carried by a voice vote with all voting no. Appointments will be made at the county board meeting. Correspondence was distributed with the committee. The committee reviewed the claims. It was moved by Alpha and seconded by Bard to pay the claims subject to county board approval. Roll call vote was taken, that motion carried. There was no old business, there was no new business. As there was no further business to come before the committee, it was moved by Bard and seconded by Alpha to adjourn at 10:40 a.m. That motion carried by a voice vote, all of which is respectfully submitted, signed by all members present, and I move for the adoption of the report. Is there a second?
Second.
Mrs. Alpha. Are there any questions or comments? Mrs. Silver.
Hey, you saw me, good. I just wanna, comment that the calendar and meeting schedule that you guys are approving isn't for a fiscal year, it's for a calendar year. So just wanted to make that clarification.
Mr. Bauer.
I have one question on the calendar. I don't see a management meeting.
On your meeting schedule,
Yeah.
that's because it's normally scheduled for the 5th.
We're gonna cover that in under new business.
Oh, okay,
There's an ARPA meeting that day as well.
Yes.
okay.
And we don't know who's gonna be on those committees yet either.
Any other questions or comments on the report? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll, please.
Behrens?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Boucher?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Crowe?
Yes.
Ducat?
Yes.
Hughes? Awful?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
Whitlow?
Yes.
Young?
Yes.
Zumwalt?
Yes.
Alt?
Yes.
Bard?
Yes.
Carried.
Okay, next is negotiations. Members of the county board, your committee to whom was referred negotiations would beg leave to submit the following report on the matters before them. Your committee met at the Administrative Center on October 19, 2022 at 1 p.m. Members present were Scher, Alt, Ducat, and Bowers. Also present Finance Manager Jill Johnson. The meeting was called to order. The committee met to discuss ongoing negotiation activities. The meeting adjourned at 2:17 p.m., all of which is respectfully submitted. The report is being presented for information only. It's not necessary that we have a motion to approve. So we'll go on to the Management Committee report with Mr. Barron.
Mr. Chairman and members of the county board, your committee to whom was referred management services would beg leave to submit the following report on matters before them. Your committee met at the Administrative Center on October 31, 2022 at 9 a.m. Members present: Behrens, Ducat, Bowers, Crowe, Zumwalt. Kevin Bowman and Sherry Johnson were absent. Also present: County Board Chairman John Scher, Finance Manager Jill Johnson, Maintenance Supervisor Chris Drake, and Treasurer Kurt Albers. The meeting was called to order. It was moved by Paul Bowers and seconded by John Zumwalt to approve the agenda. Motion carried by voice vote. There were no public comments. Maintenance Supervisor Chris Drake report included the following: general maintenance was done at the new animal control facilities, such as changing light bulbs, furnace filters, and certifying fire extinguishers. Drake will work on landscaping next week. New pump motor was installed for the chilled water system. 911 has a mini split that services their server room. Drake had to have the mini split recharged. Repairs were made to an ADA button at the entrance door. 2 pallets of salt were purchased. Drake gave an update on the elevator stating final measurements were taken He expects the project to be completed in December. Management Chairman Behrens informed Drake of dead trees on the property that should be removed if there is money remaining in his budget. There were no county farm management issues to discuss, but the committee did request a report from Walker Farms on yields once they are done in the fields. Behrens opened the county farm tiling bids as follows. Henricks Drainage, $109,500. Stringer hookup bid amount included. Beaver Creek Farm Drainage, $152,701.80. $75 Stringer hookup bid amount per hookup. It's moved by Paul Ducon, second by Donna Crowe to accept Henricks Drainage bid in the amount of $109,500. Roll call vote was taken. Motion carried. County Board Chairman John Schur provided an update on the animal control building. Last month, Schur reported he would be investigating flood proofing on the building and was referred to an engineering firm in Sugar Grove. Schur contacted the engineering firm, but due to the long distance, they decided to pass. However, they referred to another engineering firm located in Urbana. They will be in Watsika next week to look at the building. In regards to the morgue, Schur said they're still getting pricing together for repairs on the building equipment, no official offer has been made. Their asking price was $119,900. Schur also mentioned another property located in Crescent City that he will explore with Coroner Bill Cheatham. The committee reviewed the claims. It was moved by Bowers and seconded by Zumwalt to pay the claims subject to county board approval. Roll call vote was taken. Motion carried. Bowers noted $13,000 claim to AT&T. Finance Manager Jill Johnson said she is working with AT&T on refunds. During old business, Crowe and Zumwalt recommended a thank you letter be sent to Brett Case with Beaver Creek Farm Range for his help with all the tiling project details. Crowe asked if the situation with Design Group was resolved. Behrens said the matter was resolved and $10,000 was paid. There was no new business. As there was no further business to come before the committee, it was moved by Zumwalt, seconded by Ducon to adjourn at 9:33 a.m. Motion carried, all of which is respectfully submitted and moved to adoption.
The motion on the floor to approve the management committee report. Is there a second? Mr. Duquette. Are there any questions or comments regarding the report? Mr. Crowe?
Do you have any updates on the Crescent City property?
No, I don't. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll, please.
Botcher,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Crowe,
Yes.
Ducat,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Awful,
Yes.
Schur,
Yes.
Whitlow,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Zumwalt,
Yes.
Alt,
Yes.
Bard,
Yes.
Behrens,
Yes.
Mrs. Awful, Health Committee.
Mr. Chairman and members of the county board, your committee to whom was referred health, we beg leave to submit the following report on the matters before them. Your committee met at the Administrative Center on November 1st, 2022 at 9 a.m. Members present were Awful, Bard, and Whitlow. Evan Kopenauer and Ernie Curtis absent. Also present, County Board Chairman John Schur, EMA Director Eric Stacy, and Finance Manager Jill Johnson. The meeting was called to order. It was moved by Judd Whitlow and seconded by Roger Bard to approve the agenda, motion carried by a voice vote. The committee reviewed the claims. It was moved by Bard and seconded by Whitlow to pay the claims, subject to county board approval. A roll call vote was taken, motion carried, there were no public comments. Finance Manager Jill Johnson reported the registration deposit for October was $3,995. Notices will be sent out soon for non-compliance. One bat was submitted for testing and tested negative for rabies. There are currently 7 open cases, 1 dog waiting on replacement. The animal control officers closed 23 cases in October. The closed cases consisted of 10 dogs running loose, 3 bite reports closed, 3 dog-on-dog attacks, 6 well checks, and 1 abandoned puppy. The committee discussed ICOM dispatching of animal control in standard operating procedures per ETS Director Eric Raymond's request. Johnson explained a former board member had requested that the calls be run through ICOM in an attempt to have a dog of the calls coming in. Johnson also said this avoids the animal control officers using their personal phones as the county does not pay for their phone charges. Johnson utilizes the monthly ICOM logs and verifies the animal control officer's timesheet. Committee members agreed to keep the current procedure in place. EMA Director Eric Sacy reviewed the summary report of programs with the committee environmental health reported a decrease in mosquito samples. Sacy said they have stopped collecting samples as of October 15th. There was one positive sample in West Nile, Iroquois County this year. Community Health is offering the flu vaccine in the new COVID-19 season. There was one rabies investigation. The bat tested negative. The tuberculosis program has one patient on medication. Now that school is back in session, vision and hearing screening continue to increase. Health Chairman Roger Bard mentioned the number of educational presentations for the year. Stacy said there was previously an employee handling all presentations, but they no longer are employed with ICPHD and the position will not be filled. Stacy provided information about an incident that occurred in Gilman on October 26th. It was noticed that a semi was leaking nitric acid and emergency personnel were contacted. Stacy said in incidences such as this, it is the trucking company's responsibility to pay for the cleanup. For safety reasons, the diesel pumps at the Paddock gas station shut down temporarily. No evacuation was made. There was no old business, there was no new business, as there was no further business to come before the committee. It was moved by Bard and seconded by Whitlow to adjourn at 9:18 a.m. Motion carried by a vote, all of which is expected for adoption.
The motion on the floor to approve the health committee report, seconded by Mr. Hughes. Excuse me, are there any questions or comments on the report?
I have one. It should be removed, Health Chairman Roger Bard. It should be Roger Bard.
Okay, any other questions or comments? If none, the clerk call the roll, please.
Bowers.
Yes.
Crowe.
Yes.
Ducat.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Awful.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Whitlow.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Dumal.
Yes.
Alt.
Yes.
Bard.
Yes.
Barron.
Yes.
And Butcher.
Yes.
Okay, tax planning and zoning, Mr. Bard.
Mr. Chairman and members of the county board, your committee to whom was referred tax zoning would beg leave to submit the following report on the matters before them. Your committee met at the Administrative Center on November 1, 2022 at 9:30 a.m. Members present were Bard, McGinnis, Awful, and Whitlow. Kokenauer and Curtis were absent. Also present, County Board Chairman, Sheriff, Finance Manager Johnson, Treasurer Albers, County Clerk Suber, Supervisor Assessment Yergler, and Zach Eisenman. The meeting was called to order. It was moved by Awful and seconded by Whitlow to approve the agenda. Motion carried by a voice vote. The committee reviewed the claims. It was moved by McGinnis and seconded by Whitlow to pay the claims subject to county board approval. A roll call vote was taken. Motion carried. There were no public comments. The department heads gave their monthly reports. Treasurer Albers reported that the final tax distribution will take place soon. The treasurer's office has also has 2 new employees in training. Chief Deputy Doggett is retiring in November, and Deputy Clerk Kissick has a new job. County Clerk Suber reported her office continues to prepare for the upcoming election. Mail-in ballots will be processed Tuesday and Thursday. Supervisor of Assessments Yergler reported Board of Review will be in session. Yergler also reported that equalization factors are extremely high. You're going to inform the committee he will be posting a job opening for the planning and zoning administrator position that was approved earlier in the year. The planning and zoning report for October was distributed to the committee as follows. Building permits, October 2022, agricultural 0, residential 9, wind tower 0. Business building permits, fiscal year 2022, residential 62, agriculture 12, wind tower 0. Building inspections, October 2022, 67. Zoning Board of Appeals hearing was held on October 25th for a rezoning variance for Zach Iseman from RR1 to business for the purpose of commercial mini storage units. The tract is identified as part of lots 4, 5, 6, and 7 in Hislop subdivision. The permanent identification numbers are 31-25-231-009 and 31-225-231-011. Thurgood said the lots are not part of the Lake subdivision. Zach Iseman addressed the committee regarding the rezoning, stating there will be one building on approximately 2 acres with 24 storage units. It was moved by Whitlow and seconded by Awful to approve the rezoning variance for Zach Iseman from RR1 to business. A roll call vote was taken, motion carried. Suver provided the committee with a monthly resolution showing 21 parcels being sold at the tax sale. Suver said several parcels were sold higher than the minimum amount of $807. Overall, the amount coming to the county was $24,507.25. It was moved by Awful and seconded by Whitlow to approve the resolutions for parcels sold to the delinquent tax bills. A roll call vote was taken, motion carried. McGinnis distributed copies of an ordinance for the committee to review in regards to opting out of low income housing. It was moved by Awful and seconded by McGinnis to accept the ordinance to opt out of preferential assessment for affordable rental housing construction and rehabilitation pursuant to 35 ILCS 200/15-178, pending state's attorney's Jim Devine's review. The roll call vote was taken, motion carried. During old business, Bardass Finance Manager Joe Johnson provided the committee with an update on the Waltz Kennel. Johnson stated an animal control officer visited the kennel and concrete has been poured. During new business, Johnson gave the committee levy worksheets for their review this month and final approval next month. As there was no further business done before the committee, it was moved by McGinnis and seconded by Awful to adjourn at 9:52 a.m. Motion carried by voice vote, all of which is respectfully submitted by letter sign, and I move for its approval.
We have a motion on the floor to approve the tax planning and zoning committee report, seconded by Mr. Young. Are there any questions or comments on the report? Mrs. Crowe?
Well, what does the ordinance to opt out exactly say?
That'll be the next item on the agenda, ma'am.
Okay. I guess I have.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Crowe?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, Boutat?
Yes.
Hughes? Awful?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Whitlow?
Yes.
Young?
Yes.
Zumwalt?
Yes.
Alt?
Yes.
Bard?
Yes.
Darren?
Yes.
Botcher? Bowers?
Okay, under item number 2, under the tax planning and zoning committee report on your agenda is approval of an ordinance to opt out of preferential assessment for affordable rental housing construction and rehabilitation pursuant to 35 ILCS 200/15/178. We have a motion to approve that ordinance.
I do wanna comment that Jim never got back to me regarding his opinion on it, so. we didn't hear anything.
Table it till next month.
Because the committee had said pending Jim's review, I never heard anything back from him. So Bob said it wasn't anything that had to be done, even by the end of the year. He just would like to see it done, but Jim never weighed in on it.
I guess my suggestion would be that we table it till next month.
I agree.
Anybody disagree with that? Do I have a motion to table it?
I don't think he needs one,
I don't either.
yeah. I don't.
Okay, we'll table that till next month. And move on to the Judicial and Public Safety Committee report with Mr. Barrett.
Mr. Chairman and members of the county board, your committee to whom was referred judicial and public safety with every following report on matters before them. Your committee met at the courthouse on November 2nd, 2022 at 3 p.m. Members present were Barron, Dukoff, Boxer, Ed McGinnis, and Jed Whitlow were absent. Also present, County Board Chairman John Scher, Coroner Bill Cheatham, Probation Supervisor Barb King, and ETS Director Eric Raymond. The meeting was called to order. It was moved by Paul Dukoff and seconded by Laverne Watcher to approve the agenda. Motion carried by voice vote. There were no public comments. The committee reviewed Sheriff Purdy's monthly report. Coroner Bill Cheatham reported he will be going to Champaign going forward for autopsies. Overall, there is a cost savings to the county. We are currently paying $1,225 for autopsies, and the new cost will be $850. Morgue fees will be approximately $410. Probation Supervisor Barb King reported Purdy had been working with the Opioid Coalition of the county and Juvenile Justice Council to create a recovery card. The card has a QR code that provides a link to a live web page with access to names, phone numbers, services, and how to find employment, how to obtain your GED, substance abuse and mental health counseling, and other helpful resources. Also, Jenny McTaggart and Sarah Pree with Tip the Scales belong to the Community Anti-Drug Coalition of America. They have received a Blue Ribbon Coalition credential, which recognizes them as one of the top contributors to CADCA. King reviewed the probation court services activity report for October with the committee. Clerk, please sign the report for October was distributed. ETS Director Eric Raymond reported Riverside Auto in Chavance is no longer in service as of September 15th, and North Riverside Ashland will be responding to these calls. On October 1st, Riverside and Watseka went from 2 ambulances to 1 ambulance. ETSB, in conjunction with the county board, continues to work on finding different ways to fund the joint dispatch budget. On October 31st, Iroquois County suffered a major internet and phone outage due to an automobile accident. Raymond stressed the need for backup internet for the county. Raymond distributed his monthly report to the committee. There was no old business, there was no new business. The committee reviewed the claims as moved by Ducon, seconded by Fox, paid from public safety claims, seconded by county board approval. Roll call vote was taken, motion carried. If there is no further business to come before the committee, moved by Ducon, seconded by Fox, to adjourn the meeting at 2:17 p.m., motion carried by voice vote. All of which is correctly submitted, I move for its adoption.
A motion on the floor to approve the judicial committee report, to be seconded by Mr. Bard. Do we have any questions or comments on the report? Mrs. Alford?
Why did it go from 2 ambulances to 1 for the last?
Riverside, that's,
We don't have anything to do with that paying them or anything?
nope.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Minka?
Yes.
Hughes? Awful?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yes.
Whitlow?
Yes.
Young?
Yes.
Zumwalt?
Yes.
Alt? Hard?
Yes.
Barron?
Yes.
Botter?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Crowe?
Yes.
Okay, Finance IT Committee, Mr. Young.
Mr. Chairman and members of the County Board, your committee to whom was referred Finance IT would beg leave to submit the following report on the matters before them. Your committee met at the Administrative Center on November 3rd, 2022 at 9 a.m. Members present were Young, Alt, Bowers, and Hughes. McTaggart, Curtis, and Johnson were absent. Also present, County Board Chairman John Scher, Finance Manager Jill Johnson, Sheriff Clint Bruce, County Clerk Brian Sewer, Supervisor of Assessments Bob Yerkler, County Engineer Joel Moore, ETS Director Eric Raymond, EMA Director Eric Cece, Myron Munyon with Compass Insurance, and Bertie McCarty with Area Wide. The meeting was called to order. It was moved by Charlie Alt and seconded by Steve Hughes to approve the agenda. Motion carried by a voice vote. There were no public comments. Myron Munyon with Compass Insurance reported he will have the insurance renewal soon. Munyon said he is willing to meet with the board members and discuss building valuations. He provided the committee with the property schedule of all the county's properties. Munyon also gave the committee an insurance quote for the new animal control facility. Finance Manager Johnson reported Susie Warner with Homestar was unable to attend today. The benefits fair was held last week and there was good turnout. If an employee was unable to make it to the benefits fair, they can submit their insurance election forms to Executive Assistant Amanda Longfellow during the month of November for a December 1 start date. Bernie McCarty with Area Wide reported he is working on getting pricing for backup internet for the county. Joe Young expressed this as a high priority item as there have been a couple of instances where the county offices have been disrupted. The department heads gave their monthly reports. They are as follows. County Engineer Joel Moore reported he had an injury occurred with an employee and a workman's compensation claim will be filled out. EMA Director Eric Cece reported his department received a donation in the amount of $800. Cece has also been having conversations with Johnson about cybersecurity. Cece attended a conference in September and learned of some additional resources regarding cybersecurity. Iroquois County can have free vulnerability assessments through CISA, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. McCarty asked to review the information and said he's also working with Johnson on a two-factor authentication. The committee agreed to allow CISA to perform the free vulnerability assessment. Suver reported her office continues to work on preparing for the upcoming election. ETS Director Eric Raymond reported on the internet outage that occurred October 31st. On September 15th, Riverside Auto, OTTO it should be, moved out of that station and Riverside out of Ashton is taking over that area. On October 1st, Riverside has gone from 2 ambulances to 1 ambulance. ETSD continues to search ways to fund the telephone surcharge. Telecommunicator negotiations are coming up. The last ETSB meeting, there was discussion on increasing the surcharge, but the support has to be there to do so. Sheriff Clint Brzee reported he is still looking into a radio system upgrade for officer safety concerns. We have not received a body scanner yet. The latest update is that we can get an upgrade to the smaller machine in April 2023, which is the newest, best technology. The Cissna Buckley contract is expected to start on November 8th. Newly written and updated policies by ICRMT for the Sheriff's Department have been uploaded to the Power DMS system and will tentatively go into effect on November 15th. The jail is beginning a body camera pilot program. Finance Director Jill Johnson reported she is working on finalizing the FY 2021 audit. The FY 2023 budget has been posted for public bidding. Bids for the reporting microfilm project were opened as follows. Fiddler, $176,413.37. This proposal is for $278, and the grantee indexes. Fiddler would come for 24-hour on-site scanning, which they would mostly be doing at the old courthouse museum. Approximately $76,000 was already approved by the ARPA committee, and Suber will be requesting that the committee rescind the original resolution and approve the new resolution to cover the full amount of the bid. The committee held a discussion on the FY 2022 levy. Johnson distributed levy worksheets to committee members for their review. Supervisor of Assessments Bob Yergler stated the real estate market in the county has been going up over the past couple of years, and the EAV for the county has substantially increased. We are currently at a gross EAV of $809 million. Of the $809 million, typically with exemptions, we run at about 91% as taxable EAV, which amounts to approximately $730 million mid-rate. Yergler said the high rate listed is $750 million. Last year, the county had an extension of $5,219,962. If our current levy is over 5% of this amount, we will have to have a truth in taxation. Based on the current requests, the current levy is 7% over last year's amount. The levy request must be filed in the county clerk's office by the last Tuesday in December. Suber said a hearing could be held at next finance meeting if the committee believes it will be approved. Yergler said the last time the county had a truth in taxation hearing was when the county decided to catch up on retirement funds and increase the IMRF levy by $600,000. A hearing date will be set on Wednesday at the county board meeting. The committee reviewed the claims. It was moved by Alt, seconded by Bowers to pay the claim subject to county board approval. A roll call vote was taken, motion carried. There was no old business. During new business, Bowers reminded the committee that the county board meeting this month is on Wednesday due to the election of officers. Young added this is his final finance meeting and he appreciated working with everyone. As there was no further business to come before the committee, it was moved by Bowers and seconded by Hughes to adjourn at 9:38 a.m. Motion carried by a voice vote, all of which is respectfully submitted and I move for adoption.
We have a motion to approve the Finance IT Committee report, seconded by Mr. Alt. You have a question, Mr. Zumwalt?
No, I make a motion to approve.
Okay, are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Hughes. Awful.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Whitlow.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Zumwalt.
Yes.
Alt.
Yes.
Bard.
Yes.
Barron.
Yes.
Boucher.
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
Crowe.
Yes.
And Ducat.
Okay, under the Finance Committee, listing on your agenda, item number 2, discussion and action on approval of the fiscal year 2023 budget. At our meeting last month, we gave tentative approval to that budget to be posted for public viewing. By now, there have been no comments from the public. Is there, Joe?
No.
So it is up to us today to approve that budget, adopted for the coming fiscal year. So at this time, we'll entertain a motion to do so. Mr. Ducat makes that motion. Is there a second? Mr. Bowers? Are there any questions or comments about adopting the budget? None, clerk will call the roll, please.
Awful. Yes. Sure.
Yes.
Whitlow.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Zumwalt.
Yes.
Alt.
Yes.
Bard.
Yes.
Barron.
Yes.
Boucher.
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
Crowe.
Yes.
Ducat.
Yes.
Hughes.
Okay. Next item, number 3, is taking a action on approving fiscal year 2021 audit. Do you have any information to present on that, Joe?
No, just that Hope Wheeler had been here previously to present a tentative audit, and the final audit is it is the same as her tentative audit presentation with the inclusion of the single audit, which was holding us back a little bit, and that has also been completed. Reports are finalized and they will be posted as soon as it's approved.
Okay. Is approving this audit something that we need to do today?
You should do it today, yeah.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the audit. Whitmore, is there a second? Mr. Hughes. Do we have questions or comments regarding approving the audit? Seeing none, I guess the clerk will call a roll.
Sure.
Yes.
Whitlow.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Zumwalt.
Yes.
Alt.
Yes.
Bard.
Yes.
Barron.
Yes.
Bodger.
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
Crowe.
Yes.
Ducat.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
And Awful.
Yeah.
Motion carried.
Okay, the next item we have under the finance committee, item number 4 is discussion and action on the law enforcement service contracts with Buckley and Sister Park. I have right here copies of the contracts signed by both communities. Must have provide law enforcement services. This is really a carbon copy of the one agreement that we have in place with Gilman. It's been updated as far as the estimated cost of doing this, type of thing, so that's really the only change that I'm aware of that's been made. But it's up to us now to approve this, so it can go into effect and whatnot. At this time, we'll entertain a motion to approve the contracts with Buckley and Sister Park.
I'll make that motion.
Second by Mr. All. Are there any questions or comments regarding these contracts? Mrs.
Are we
Hoffman?
having to hire more deputies to do it?
That's already been done, the deputies are ready to begin immediately. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, they may have already begun yesterday, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is there any other questions or comments on the contracts? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll, please.
Whitlow.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Zumwalt.
Yes.
Alt.
Yes.
Bard.
Yes.
Barron.
Yes.
Bodger.
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
Crowe.
Yes.
Ducat.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Awful.
Yes.
And Sure.
Yep. Okay, the last item under the finance committee is discussion and action on setting a date and time for the truth and taxation public hearing required for approval of the proposed 2022 annual tax levy. Do you have a recommendation for that?
I do. So according to the statute, the publication cannot be published more than 14 days or less than 7 days before the public hearing is to take place. So, the Times Republic, which would be the largest newspaper, I suppose, of general circulation in the county, they publish on Thursdays, so we can have this in to run at the December 1st publication for the hearing to take place on December 8th, which is the finance committee, the day the finance committee meets. And then it can be adopted on the 13th by the county board. When the tax committee or the finance committee talked about the levy worksheets that are in front of you guys, they talked about looking at the high EAV, which would make the percentage of extension 113.73% of last year's extension, which that 105 is what triggers the truth in taxation, public hearing. If you don't publish the highest percentage that you could possibly go, then you're gonna have to hold another public hearing if you go over that, over the percentage that you publish. So if you guys were looking at these levy worksheets and you decided you wanted to do 107%, which is the, I believe Bob said was the, amount that you would, be levying for every request by all of the entities that are, on your, levy. If you only publish 107% and you decide you need more money, then you're going to have to republish and redo the public hearing. And you have to have that public hearing 15 days before adoption. So it's up to the board on what you guys wanna do. Again, the 113.73 is what finance talked about. That's what I would suggest doing, just so you have the highest amount in the publication, and you can always go under that.
And that's the high rate, which we.
Usually do,
Right. Unless somebody has an objection to that, I think the high rate is what we're looking at doing. So based on what you heard here, the hearing would be held on December 8th at 9 a.m. So if that is satisfactory to everybody, we need a motion to approve that.
Would you change the finance meeting then? Cause you can't have it, finance committee and public hearing at the same time, they have to be two separate
We
meetings.
want to have it at 10,
Probably a good idea to schedule it at a different time.
9:30.
I would schedule it for when you know the meeting is definitely going to be able to start, so I'm not sure what finance has for next month. Even if you did that.
Set it for 9:30.
Nine.
Then that, it has to, no, if it starts at 9:30, then you have to start it at 9:30.
10 o'clock. Okay. The other way would be to have the hearing first.
And you can do that. Whatever you wanna do.
Doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
I will be
Everybody
here
understand that
regardless.
discussion, the options we're looking at, or we look for a motion, how we wanna proceed.
I make a motion, you have the hearing on December 8th at 10 a.m.
Okay,
Second.
second by Mr. Zumal. Are there any questions or comments about that motion?
Can I have you add that we're gonna do the high rate?
Yeah.
What?
113.73.
Start that for that meeting notice.
Okay, that's the motion that's made. It will be incumbent upon the chairman of the finance committee to make sure that the regular meeting is over by 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I think you can.
Anyway, that's what we're looking at doing. So are there any other questions or comments on the motion before us? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Young,
Yes.
Zumwalt,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Bard,
Yes.
Barons,
Yes.
Botcher,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Crowe,
Yes.
Ducat,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Awful,
Yes.
Sure,
Yes.
Whitlow.
Yes.
All right, that brings us to the Transportation and Highway Committee, Mr. Rawls. He's standing there patiently, waiting for all this monkey business to careful. With refer Transportation and Highway, will beg leave to submit the following report on the matters before them, the committee minutes of the County Highway Building on December 4th, 2022, 9 a.m. Register for all Young, Ducat, Sumwalt, and Crowe, also present, County Engineer Joe Moore. Meeting was called to order. There was no public comments. It was moved by Young and second by Ducat to approve the agenda, motion carried by a voice vote. The claims and financial reports for the month were reviewed. It was moved by Young and seconded by Sumwalt to pay the bills subject to county board approval. The roll call vote was taken, motion carried. County highway, $129,203.95. County bridge, $0. County matching, $2,227. TBP, $0. County MFT, $212,593. Township MFT, $35,796. County engineer Joel Moore presented a resolution for 2 box culverts located in Lovejoy Township. The county's allotment for the county bridge fund is $90,000. It was moved by Donna Crowe and seconded by Ducati to adopt the resolution for 22-1512-00-BR/22-1512-01-DR for the replacement of the 2 box culverts in Lovejoy Township. The roll call was taken, motion carried. For review the county engineer's salary resolution with the committee. We said a re-ranking of the counties was done, but Iroquois County did not change in rank. Effective January 1, 2023, salary of the county engineer will increase to $117,420 plus $4,000 in expenses. It was moved by Crowe and seconded by Young to approve the resolution approving county engineer's salary in the amount of $117,420 plus $4,000 for expenses. County engineering recommended salary program. Roll call vote was taken, motion carried. Lastly, Moore presented the Martin and Snowplow agreement for approval by committee. Is moved by Ducati and seconded by Sumwalt to approve the Martin Snowplow agreement. A roll call vote was taken, motion carried. There was no new business. Crowe asked for an update on the sign project funded by American Resolution Plan Act ARPA funds. Moore said all signs have been shipped to the township. There were some issues with missing signs and damaged signs. Moore is waiting on confirmation that all of the missing signs will be received. As there was no further business to come before the committee, it was moved by Young and seconded by Ducati to adjourn at 9:29 a.m. Motion carried by voice vote. All of this is respectfully submitted and I move for the approval. We have a motion on the floor to approve the highway committee report, second by Mr. Young. Do we have any questions or comments about the report? Can't see any, so roll call.
Young,
Yes.
Zumwalt,
Yes.
Alt,
Yes.
Bard,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Bodger, Bowers,
Yes.
Crowe,
Yes.
Ducat,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Awful, Sure,
Yes.
Whitlow.
Yes.
Okay, ARPA committee, Mr. Ducat.
Mr. Chairman and members of the county board and committee to whom was referred, American Rescue Plan Act was begged to submit the following report on the matters before them. Your committee met at the Administrative Center on October 31st, 2022 at 10 a.m. Members present were Ducat, Crowe, Awful, and Sure. Charlie Alt was absent. Also present, Finance Manager Jill Johnson and County Clerk Brianna Sewer. The meeting was called to order. It was moved by Sure and seconded by Barb Awful to approve the agenda. Motion carried by a voice vote. There were no public comments. The committee began the review of the ARPA applications as follows. Application number 3, County Clerk Reporter, County Clerk Brianna Sewer provided the committee with a synopsis of the bidding information received from Governmental Business Systems and Liberty Systems LLC for the voting equipment. The Finance Committee opened the bids from last month's, hold on. The Finance Committee opened the bids last month for initial approval. The Finance Committee approved General Business Systems bid in the amount of $517,858.08. Even though their bid was higher than Liberty Systems LLC and their annual fees are higher. Super explained she recommended Governmental Business Systems due to the security features of their system and the ADA requirements. It was moved by Scher and seconded by Donna Crowe to adopt a resolution approving the county clerk's application in the amount of $517,858.08 for the purchase of the voting equipment from Governmental Business Systems. A roll call vote taken, motion carried. The committee reviewed the following applications and agreed funding is not available for these projects at the time. Application number 2, St. Mary's Cemetery Association. Application number 7, the Sheriff's Department. Application number 13, Addiction Recovery Services. Application number 20, County Secretary. There will be a funding project on their own. Application number 25, the Village of Anarga. Application 31, 32, Iroquois Mental Health Center. Application 37, the Iroquois County Goat Producers application pulled. They completed the project on their own. Application number 39, Wellington Greer Fire Department, Fire Protection District. Application 42, Kyle Voiles. Application number 48, Schomburg's Fine Trim. Application number 49, Affordable Arts. Application 69, 71, and 72 for the Village of Donovan. Application 77, Martinton Drainage District number 3. Application number 78, EMA. Application 83, 84, and 85, the Ashland Township DBA Coliseum. Application 86, Douglas Township Park District. Application 88, Betsy Gale, longest received funding through IEDA. Application 89 and 90, Village of Clifton. Application 93 and 94, Village of Buckley. Application 97, City of Watseka. Application 100, Health Check, Health Coaching Incorporated. Application number 102, Woodland Fire Protection District. Application 105, Crescent Iroquois EMS and Ambulance. Application number 106 and 107, the Iroquois Memorial Hospital. Application number 114, Prairie Lutheran Homes 2. Application number 115, St. Lutheran's School. Application 61, Iroquois County Youth Center. A representative will be contacted and invited to the December meeting. Application 75, ARBA. A representative will be contacted and invited to the next meeting. Application number 98, Whiskey Creek Drainage District. They have provided all the documents and attended several meetings. The committee held a discussion on funding their project in the amount of $130,000. Application number 108, Fountain Creek Drainage District number 1. They have provided all required documents and attended several meetings. The committee held a discussion on funding their entire project in the amount of $77,000. Application 116, Village of Clifton Employee Representative will be contacted and invited to the next meeting. Upon further discussion, the committee opt to hold an additional ARPA meeting on Friday, November 4th at 9:45 a.m. The next regular scheduled ARPA meeting is scheduled for Monday, December 5th at 11 a.m. There was no old business, there was no new business. As there is no further business to come before the committee, it was moved by Crowe and seconded by Awful to adjourn at 11:58 a.m. Motion carried by a voice vote. All votes respectfully submitted. On to the next one. Mr. Chairman and members of the county board, your committee to whom was referred American Rescue Plan Act was begged to leave to submit the following report before them. Your committee met at the Administrative Center on November 4th, 2022 at 9:45 a.m. Members present were Ducat, Crowe, and Awful, and John Scher. Charlie Alt was absent. Also present, Finance Manager Jill Johnson, County Clerk Brianna Suber, Robert Bauer with Fountain Creek Drainage District number 1, Richard Smith with Whiskey Creek Drainage District, Suzanne Light and Kathleen Ashline of ARBA. The meeting was called to order and it was moved by Scher and seconded by Crowe to approve the agenda. Motion carried by a voice vote. There were no public comments. The committee began the review of the ARPA application as follows. Number 75, ARPA. Finance Director Suzanne Light and Executive Director Katie Ashline were in attendance to present their application. ARPA has requested $18,000. Mrs. Light told the committee the agency purchased a home in 2019 to allow one of the people they serve to remain in his home. The home has been used as a CILA for 16 years and is handicap accessible. Mrs. Light explained that since the home is now agency owned, There are additional regulations that must be followed. The Office of the State Fire Marshal found several citations that must be addressed, such as fire-rated self-closing bedroom doors, secondary means of escape, meaning the window must open at least 20 inches for someone to be able to crawl out through in case of a fire, a hand-wired electrical smoke alarm system in addition to a battery-operated system, manual pull fire alarm system, some outlets need replaced, and a heating detection system in the attic. ARPA has compiled with some of the requirements by changing the outlets and installing the fire-rated self-closing bedroom doors. They also agreed to installing the electrical smoke alarm system and heating detection system in the attic. Mrs. Light said they have tried challenging the requirements to install a manual pull fire alarm system because this isn't something found in a normal home. Abra was informed they had no choice of the matter if they owned the home. Abra would also like to replace the front door on the home. Upgrades to the bathroom have already been completed and were initially funded by the Griffin Trust. Finance Manager Jill Johnson noted their application states Abra was unable to host fundraising events due to the pandemic and asked if proof of revenue loss could be provided for 2018 through 2021. Mrs. Light will provide these documents to the committee in the future to review at the next meeting. Application number 98, Whiskey Creek Drainage District. Richard Smith with Whiskey Creek Drainage has confirmed there have been no changes and they currently have approximately $4,500 in their bank account. Mr. Smith agreed that money could be taken from the Drainage District's bank account to fund the remainder of the project. It was moved by Crow and seconded by Awful to adopt the resolution awarding Whiskey Creek Drainage District $126,000 for the purpose of installing drainage tile. A roll call vote was taken, motion carried. Application 108, Fountain Creek Drainage District number 1. Robert Bauer with Fountain Creek Drainage District number 1 confirmed there has been no changes and they currently have approximately $9,000 in their bank account. Mr. Bauer received confirmation that money could be taken from the Drainage District bank account to fund the remainder of the project. It was moved by Charlie All and seconded by Scher to adopt a resolution awarding Fountain Creek Drainage District number 1 $70,000 for the purpose of replacing drainage tile. A roll call vote was taken, motion carried. Application 116, the Village of Clifton Pool, the application will be reviewed next month. During old business, Crow informed the committee she reached out to the Country Theater Workshop and credit was given to the ARPA committee all summer. In regards to Crossroads Youth Center, Crow said they have not received their check. Jonathan said the check is in their office, but no one has been in to sign for it to pick it up. Also during old business, Scher suggested the committee come up with some way to publicize and display all the awarded projects, once all funding has been expended. Lastly, County Clerk Brianna Suber discussed the microphone bids that were open at the Finance Committee meeting. Suber asked the committee to rescind the resolution that was previously passed for microfilm conversion for documents 1980 through 1989 in the amount of $76,728.50. Suber said she would rather move forward on microfilming older documents and getting our grantor grantees indexes scanned. Suber explained the reasoning behind scanning the grantor grantees indexes is because there is only one copy of them on microfilm, and if the copy liquefies or something happens to this building, we won't have our guide to find where the documents are at. Fiddler submitted a bid in the amount of $176,413.37 to scan 73 grantor indexes, 73 grantor indexes and digitally scanned deed and mortgage books, A through N, 17 through 26, with a total of 269 books of documents. It was moved by Crow and seconded by Awful to rescind the resolution submitted by County Clerk and recorder in the amount of $76,728.50 for microfilm conversion. Roll call vote was taken, motion carried. It was moved by Crow and seconded by Awful to adopt the resolution awarding County Clerk and recorder $176,413.37 for microfilm conversion. A roll call vote was taken, motion carried. Crow added that she would like to explore additional numbers to bring the scanning process up to date. There was no new business and there was no further business to come before the committee. It was moved by Scher and seconded by Awful to adjourn at 10:41. Motion carried by voice vote, this is all respectfully submitted, and I ask for submission.
We have a motion on the floor to approve two ARPA committee reports. Is there a second? Are there any questions or comments? Mr. Alt?
I was reported as at the meeting and not at the meeting.
I've made note of that. You're absolutely correct, sir.
It could have been done both, because I did leave a little extra late because I had a doctor's appointment.
I just, on the second report, it says that where it talks about the 73 grantor indexes, 73 grantee indexes, and then it goes on to say in digitally scanned deed and mortgage books, A through N, and then it's 17 through 269. So we're getting 269 books of the deed and mortgage records scanned, and also the 73 grantor and 73 grantee indexes. So it's not just a total of 269 books, it's book 17 through 269, not 26. Just making that clarification. Yeah, it makes it look like we're getting a lot more money for it.
Are there any other questions or comments? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll, please.
Zumwalt.
Yes.
Alt.
Yes.
Bard.
Yes.
Barron.
Yes.
Boucher. Bowers. Crowe.
Yes.
Ducat.
Yep.
Hughes.
Yes.
Awful.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Whitlow.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like this month we have no appointments to approve, so we have to move on to the approval of the claims. I believe everyone has seen a copy of the claims, so we have a motion to approve them. Mr. Duque, do we have a second? Mrs. Rothman, do we have any questions or comments regarding the claims? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll, please.
Alt. Bard.
Yes.
Barron.
Yes.
Boucher. Bowers.
Yes.
Crowe.
Yes.
Ducat.
Yes.
Hughes. Awful. Yes. Sure. Whitlow.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Zumwalt.
Yes.
All right, is there any old business to come before the board this morning? Is there any new business to come before the board? Mrs. Crowe?
At the recent meeting we had for media training, we talked at length about social media and the need for us to take a serious look at it. So I think that needs to go on a committee's agenda and we need to begin discussing that.
It's been added to the agenda for the policy and procedure.
Okay,
I'll be handling it there.
all right.
Are there any other new business? I'll call your attention to the meeting schedule that you received. Earlier you heard Mr. Bowers say that on December 5th, the management committee was not listed as a meeting at 10 o'clock. And the ARPA committee also needs to be added to that meeting at 11 o'clock next week. At the organizational meeting on December 5th at 9 o'clock, the committee assignments will be handed out, so if you find yourself on one of those committees meeting at 10 or 11 o'clock, while you can add on to them. You want me to say anything about the
I did not, no, because I thought you were gonna discuss it at some point in time. Where do you wanna go?
I guess you could hear me speaking about our customers tend to have a holiday party, luncheon party following our December regular scheduled board meeting, which is on December 13th. My recollection, if my memory is right, we did discuss this briefly last month. I think that made people aware that they're thinking about it. So I guess one of the things that might be of value here today is if we could have like a straw poll as to who was interested in attending this meeting, but eventually if Mrs. Silver can get a good reservation for us, you'll need to be in contact with her to affirm your attendance. So
where do you wanna go for it? Where am I making a reservation?
You know the places.
She doesn't wanna make the decision.
I mean, I don't care. You wanna go to Porky Barn Hall? I can make a reservation
In years past, we always went to Greg's. Last year, we went to the table. Greg's wasn't available and Monaco's Pizza wasn't available.
What are Greg's hours now? Is that,
I have no idea. Would you prefer me to look into Greg's or?
I think,
well, we have a new restaurant, the Topper's open now for
Right.
lunch too.
Topper?
I think the thing to do is today, if we can make some decisions on what we wanna do then.
I can't, I'm sorry, John, two people are talking. I can't hear you. What'd you say? I couldn't hear you.
I think if we can arrive at some consensus on the direction we'd like to go today, then we can confirm everything at our organizational meeting on December 5th.
So you want me to look into those places and see if they can accommodate like the 20 to 25 people that would show up and go from there on the 5th, we can decide.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said we go to the new establishment to promote it.
I don't know if they can accommodate us.
I know, but I'm just asking, please look into
Yeah,
it.
I can call them now.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Yes, Steve.
Okay.
Okay, everybody on board with that?
It's a big decision.
Very important.
Board members and county officials and media and others. And joining us for December 13th. Leave the coroner's buying for everybody.
I thought it was sheriff. Pepsi.
That's to be confirmed. No, it's always Dutch Street, so if anybody has any questions on that. Okay, that being the case, is there any other new business? Motion to adjourn? Seconded by Mr. Young. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The meeting is adjourned.